Welcome back for our card game with a battle grid. In this tutorial today we are going to show how to have a display card information text, or basically we are going to create a system where we show to the player all the info that he might require during the game. It's a quite interesting topic. I haven't seen actually people talk about this for construct, and I think it's very useful because it's very I'd say it's a topic that will be very recurring in many of the games that you can create. So just to show what's happening today, as you can see here, we have a player 1 with the info of the card. In this case, it's this card here, and player 2 has the info of this card. So basically, when it's the turn of, in this case, it's the turn of this player here. When he's clicking on one card that has a robot, it displays the info. It can be either his cards or even the opponent cards. You still display the cards info, and the info are only on the display related to the player that is owning the card. So in this case here, I'll click on the cards on the left, and the information is on the left because the player number 1. If I click on the cards on the right, the information that come out are the information for the player 2 that is on the right. So that's what we're going to do today, and we're going to filter information to display only the robots, and we see in 1 minute why. 1 minute at the end of the video. But anyway, let's start straight away, and we go on our program. One thing I show you, this is I create a new robot stat. I haven't the chance to publish this. They have a discussion on my Patreon page yet to decide the name, but I'm going to do today or tomorrow. So at the moment there is not the name for the robots. I put question marks, but for the rest, if you want to follow exactly this tutorial, you can just copy this information on your program, and then we are ready to go. Okay, so you can anyway put pause and see this, and we no rush. First thing we're going to do, we go on the event sheet board, and on the line 29, if you follow exactly the tutorial, or anyway where we do the click with the mouse on the card to put the selector, we're going to create 2 sub events, and then on the second one we drag this down and all this as well. So we're going to put the comment here. In this comment we say move the selector on the card. So we know what this action is doing, and we do this because we want to recycle this click also of the mouse to make it clear with all events where the player make a single click are inside this group. And we're going to create a new group here of instruction, and we call it show card info. Okay, so we're going to put instruction here. Once again, if you have a limited number of instructions for your version of construct 2 or 3, these are 1, 2, or 3 lines, so you can duplicate this mouse, put it one here. Sorry, you can put one mouse here, and then new condition here with the mouse. Remove this one on top, and you have only 2 conditions. But it will be taking more space visually when you don't need it, but it's okay. You have to do what you can with the free edition. So let's go on this page. So I put the comment, and then I need to put a new condition here for the card is playing. So we want to get the information on the card only if the card is played the animation front, because we don't want to get information of the card when the card is covered here. So we don't want to have any information to display in advance what there is in the card. So the only way to select all the cards are on the starting points, the card are on the board in the middle, and the cards in the hands from any player is just to filter the selection with the click of the mouse just through the animation that is front, and this way we are good. At this point we are going to, as usual, call a function. The function will be in the new event sheet we're going to create here. I will call event sheet info. So we need to use this all for the display info. We make it a little bit clear. And of course we need to include this event sheet on the event sheet board. That is our main event sheet for the game. And we can go back now to our event sheet info, and we create a new function. Call the function show info. Quite easy. Then we add the comment as well here, and just copy and paste so it's easier. Maybe waste less time. So the parameter we're going to pass here first is the type of information we want to display to the player. This because in the future we want to display some information that are not related maybe to the card, maybe are related to some events like the end of the turn, the end of the game, and so on. So this will help us to filter which kind of action we're going to do. Second parameter in this case we need is the player number. Player number we need it because we need to know which display we need to put the text, if the one for the player 1 or the one for player 2. And finally, the second parameter, actually the parameter number 2, that is the third parameter, is the card number, because otherwise we don't know which card we're talking about. Okay, done this one, we're going to create a sub event, and then we compare function, compare parameter 0 if the parameter 0 type is equals to card info, because we're going to decide to display card info. Then do all the action. As usual, if you have construct tree, you can put the name of parameter with the variables you want. So you know I already explained this, so I'm not going to go too much in details about this thing. And for you use construct 2, I'm going to create a local variable, and I call it play underscore number, and I make another one, card underscore number. So we don't have to say function dot parameter 0, 1, whatever. So a little bit clear and easier to write. Okay, so at this stage I need to create a new assignment for this variable, a set value of player number 2, player underscore n, to function dot parameter 0, 1, so I don't have to repeat it as I said before, and then we do the same for card number with function parameter 2. Okay, now we put a new sub event where we check if the text compare instance variable player number is equal to player number, and another condition to add still in this block here, if the card compare instance variable card number equal to card number. So in one go we filter both text and card for what we're going to do now. And now we're going to set the text, set text to this. So just copy and paste. So basically this is the same text that we have, I just done for now, we have here, so we don't have to copy every time. So every time it's just recreated, because when we set text we overwrite the previous information. And then with this player underscore n, that is this local variable, we're going to use this for either player 1 or player 2, so we don't have to worry about which one is the player. At this point, we go to append the text. Append text. And since it's quite long, I just paste from my notes. You can just stop the video and then copy. I'm going to explain line by one. So basically, after creating this text, we're going to add one new line. Means we go on the new line, and then we add it again, add a new line. So we have one empty line before we start to write again card number, and we get information which card number is from card underscore number. Again, twice a new line, so we have one space. We have the visual separation between the player number on top, the card number, and again all the other information. The other information will be name we get from card.name, and so on. We keep doing the same. Type, card.type, we put two new lines, so we again another empty space between the name type and all the rest of the information we have here. They are basically the data that we really need for the mechanics of the game. So we have movement that is a little bit different, because we have first we write card.movement left, so the current movement is still available for the unit. Then we do a slash, and then again the maximum movement for the unit. This because this unit can be already moved, or we can use the same function here, show info, to call again the display of this information automatically after every time that the players move. So basically we can just update the info on the screen on the go every time the movement happens. This is one option. Of course, it's not compulsory, but it can be done. And the same thing happens with hit points, HP. Here you can see left and max. So you want to know the current status of the unit, and maybe if you have some attack, you get some damage, you can display the damage on the screen for the player, just recover all the information and paste it. So basically we can, as I said long time ago, we can use the function to be called from different point of our code. That's why we are using function, because it's an advantage for recycle the code over and over. Then we go on again with armor, range damage, and melee damage. Once again, even if this information are not updated when you get injured or maybe when you move, you might still want to update this information on the screen for the player after the player use a power-up card, for example, so you can show that the information are now improved. So maybe the armor is improved from 2 become 4, and so on. So that's it for this text. At this stage, we're going back to event sheet board, and in the line 30, I think, yeah, we're going to call the function. Call function, and we call show info. We pass the parameter we talked about before. So first is text card info. Just make sure to type properly, otherwise it doesn't work. Then card dot player number, and then the last one will be card dot card number. Okay, so now the function is called properly, and we're going to save, of course, and we test the game. Okay, now you see the difference between the previous game I showed you at the beginning of the game. Give me 1 second. Okay, lucky we got robot. So now if I click on the card that is not a robot, I still get the information here. So I get this information. Why? Because we haven't filtered to display the information only for the type robot, and that's why it's important that we have to do it. That's why we pass in many parameters to this card, like a card info and so on, because we want to customize the message we want to send. So in this case, we haven't created any information for the cards that doesn't have a proper drawing. So we don't know which card is card number 3, but or number 10. So for example, this might be a power up. So if I want to display power up information, of course I still I'm able to display power up, but I don't need to display the movement or the HP of the power up. So you understand, you want to have a customized message, and that's why we're going to create on our game here one sub event here, and says the card compare instance variable type, if type is equals to robot, then you append this. Because if it's not robot, it's something else, and maybe I'm not going to pass this parameter, maybe I pass some other parameter. I need to know type, maybe play a number, because if it's an upgrade for the unit, or but still can maybe pass card number, but depends really what you want to pass. It might be a game over message or something like that. It's not related to any card, for example. So I need to have this kind of selection here. If I want to do power up or upgrade, I can call this upgrade, and then the message here will be like I don't know, upgrade name, and then I put here card type, or maybe it will be upgrade the name variable. I don't know, I haven't done yet. But maybe there will be in the future upgrade name or whatever, or maybe a long description about what the upgrade is doing, so we don't have to put any instruction elsewhere. People don't need to read the manual and so on. We can have on the display all the information, and that's useful because sometimes in some games, like you can see that all the information are in the card, but in our case we don't need to put the information in the card, because once we click on the card, I can write a lot of text here. Just say, oh, this card, this upgrade card increase the armor or your unit for 2 points, or whatever you want to put. You can write even a little bit of story. Even for robots, you can write a little bit of story here, like, you know, some descriptive here. Oh, this is the best shooting robot, blah blah blah, or this kind of factory, or you know, you can invent your story. So this really interesting, because you really can customize all the things you want to display. And then we are going to try now that it's working with the last changing. We're done. And now, as you can see, it doesn't show anymore any information if it's not a robot, but if it's a robot, I got it. As you can see, question mark because we haven't chosen the name yet, but we will do soon. So that's it for today. I think this video is very useful. I said before, I haven't seen anyone explaining this video. Maybe someone explain for construct, of course, but it's very useful to do, especially if you have a big project or role-playing games, something like that, you know, or like this tactic game. You really want to display a lot of information, a lot of different type of information to the player, and that's a good system to have for your computer. If you like this video, if you enjoy, you think it's very useful, please do me a big favor, share it around, because as I said before, I don't have much time to share my video around. And of course you can like, subscribe, hit the bell, and you can of course write me comment if I done some mistake, let me know. If you have any question because something not clear, let me know. I will come back to you as soon as possible. And I want to take the chance to say thank you very much to everyone that supports me on Patreon, because help to sponsor this video here. And I remember that with my supporter on Patreon, we decided to create this game, not only about this, the name of the robots or whatever, like the tactics, rules. We can decide which other kind of tutorial you want to see in the future. If you have any question about your game you're creating. I give you priority. If I have a little bit of free time, I'm happy to help you in advance, of course, before other people, and so on. So that's it for today, and I will see you again for the next video. Thank you very much for being here with me for a long time again, but I think it was very useful again. Thank you. Bye bye.